Right then, Miss P, are you coming with me? Eh? Come on. Hey, we're going that way. She's just happy to be outside for a minute. Right, so we got 2 bags of logs to deliver this afternoon. We are coming up now kind of on the end of our firewood season as far as logs are concerned. Although we've got plenty of stock, we don't have that much dry. So, and as far as I'm concerned, I'd rather not sell it than sell something that's wet, because you only ever sell one wet load. And I have to make sure I also have to keep my other half, Mrs. P, nice and warm. So what have we got left? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, maybe 20 bags left. Right, 2 to go this afternoon. Can I get in there? I can get in there. I can get to them. Right, I do not need to move Donkey. He can stay where he is. Okay. Go on, in you go. Yes, yes, I know. My Defender wants to wash as well. But do you know what? I only washed that day or so back, and look at the state of the wheels already. I mean, the rest of it doesn't look too bad. But the wheels, yeah, lots and lots of caca. We just wait for the coil to go out, because it is cold litter. It does that sometimes. And then it does that. Right, let's get loaded up. Okay, well, while we're in here, I just filled them up. Maybe a good idea to bang a bit of grease around here at the same time. Okay, so I've only done around the front end for the time being, mainly because I power washed this out and got quite vigorous with that in there. The other ones, those grease points were done less than, if you're going to do hours of work, probably less than 5 hours worth. So there's no point in putting in way more than you need. So, right, okay, that's the important bit done. Okay, that is a lovely, lovely bag of dry beech logs. Someone would be very happy to see them. You're right. Yeah. Get that thing out of my face. I know, I can see it. Right, you've got a bit of sleep in your eye there. Okay. Let's go. What? What? You'll have your food in a minute when you go home. You'll be fed. You're not having biscuits now. Right, boys and girls. Well, everybody in there seems quite content. Right. I'll go look at some ground. Well, it was another wet night last night, and the ground is sodden again. Come on, you. I got a few things I want to do out here, things like chain harrowing, fencing. Luckily I got all my hedge cutting done. but I'm pretty sure the ground's just too wet. The only way to find out is to walk it. I don't think I'm going to be driving down here for a bit, much as I want to get stuff done. There is absolutely no point in making a mess. Right, this is the bottom left-hand piece of our farm, bottom playground as we call it, and this is one of the last pieces of ground we actually threw some muck out on. I mean, you can still see bits of it out in the field. I'd really like to put the harrows over this, break it up a bit more, rattle it in a bit more, but it's just too wet out here, and I make a mess. I walk the dogs out here fairly regular because I do come across the odd stone. One of the other downsides of having a yard that's not concrete is you do occasionally pick up some stone. So when I come out for a walk the dogs, I try and pick up what I can. Big one there. I'll roll it and or chain harrow it and then roll it, so any stones like this that are left out that I've missed are actually pressed down into the ground and don't come into contact with my mower. Mower blades and stones, they don't really get on. There's a couple of great tits having a great discussion in the tree up here, so I'm not sure they agreed on something, but who knows. Right, okay, so I've mentioned a couple of times recently that I want to come down here and do a bit of fencing. This is the last piece I want to tidy up. So basically, when we put the gate in, there's a video where I put in Mrs. P's gate. That's her gate for walking the dogs. It's not a public footpath, it's just a gate I put in for my wife to use. We renewed that bit of fence across there up to this point here. Everything that way is, well, it was originally put in about 30 years ago when we first moved to the farm, and has been bodged and repaired a few times in between. So that's not an original, that's not original. That would have been an original stake, which is pretty much gone in the ground, as is, no, he's still solid. That is not an original stake. So basically what's happened is this bit of fence here has become what I would call untidy, and I would just like to start going around the farm and renewing all the fencing that I did originally 30 years ago. And there's a lot of it. I mean, it goes all the way around this field and down the bottom there. The bottom of that hedge there is new, from that way on is new, but all this here kind of, well, it is stock proof, but just needs doing again properly. And the way I look at now, if I can do it again now, a lot of these are replacement posts or creosote posts. Some of these can stay, but there's no big tensioners on the corners. We need to address that and actually put the stuff back straight. Yeah, nothing's going to escape out of there. It's just messy. These are the other things that need repairing, where certain people, I'll mention no names, but you might be looking at him, have in the past got maybe a little bit too close with the hedge trimmer and done a little bit of damage. There's a few places on this hedge and fence in there like that, so yeah. Like I said, if the ground was really good and firm to get up and down through here, I'd be tempted to take all this fence line down, because the actual fence should be back inside there, but the hedge has grown out over a period of years, and it needs putting back properly. And I must do it while I'm young enough that I can do it without too much difficulty. We don't want you. You can live in the hedge. Well, I'm pleased to report that my pipe is running freely now. One or two have said, oh, the pipe's too small. Well, it's not actually. As I wrote back in a comment, I've lived here all my life. I know this stream. This stream actually comes from a spring that starts just below the wood up there. So it's about 3/4 of a mile to the source of this spring or this stream. And apart from that source, which I believe the water in this actually originates somewhere over in the Black Mountains over in Wales. Some professor or bigwig did a water test on this for that stream years and years ago, and they found minerals, dissolved minerals in this water that are not on this side of the River Severn, because it's granite. We're all limestone over here, and it worked out that actually a lot of the water from here was going underground under the River Severn, getting warmed up apparently and pushed back up, and it comes up in a spring at the top of the woods there, and this spring has been here ever since. But apart from that spring, the only other thing that feeds this stream is land drains and land drains. That's it. So there you go. The pipe we got in there is big enough anyway. That was the nub of the story. We don't need it. You stop eating that dirty animal. Dirty animal. Okay, so not an awful lot to today's video, I'm afraid. It's been a quiet day, and the only thing I've really had to share with you is my wander around looking at the ground, looking at the grass and the hedges, the fences and the ditches. Something you have to do fairly regularly to sort of mull over what you want to do, what you can do right now, what's going to have to wait, which right now is most of it because the ground's just not fit for doing any work on, and making tentative plans of how you're going to proceed with the rest of the year. At the moment, all I could do is talk about it. I can't actually really do it, not without making a mess, which I don't want to do. So yeah, so a bit of a dull one today, I'm sorry to say, but you know, plans and ideas, we've got to keep them ticking over and refreshed. What were you doing? Were you looking so guilty? Eh? Were you looking so guilty? You were up to no good, weren't you? I could tell. Come on. It looks like some of my narcissi are thinking about it. The daffodil shoots coming up. Rabbits have been nibbling some of them, but won't be long now, and we should have a flash of colour around here, yellow and white. It'd be nice to see it. Again, if you go back in my old videos, there's actually a video of me planting all those daffodils with a digger. I'll put a card up. There it is, in. That's the circuit of the farm. It's not a long walk, it's about, if I walk all around the outside, probably mile-ish, maybe just under a mile, to walk around the entire perimeter of the farm. So good walk for the dogs, bit of exercise for me. I can also keep an eye on what's going on with my grass, sheep, hedges, stuff. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that. Maybe tomorrow I can find something more interesting to talk about than grass and hedges. You never know.